Hello, Instagram, and welcome to the Trish Lynn Show. Today we are talking men in leadership, and it's going to be such a good one. There are some mornings where you're just in feeling all of the vibes, and this morning I am in and feeling all of the vibes, and it's such a powerful, magnetic energy to be in that I may have just been dancing around before we come on here today. Looks like our guest has joined us. Now we just gotta bring him on. Song that I was just dancing around to. Can you request to join? I've tried to add you, but that never seems to work for me. But if you request to join, it should let me bring you on. Maybe. There should be a little button at the bottom that looks like a video camera with a plus sign. That's what it has for me. It says unable to join. Are you on a mobile device? You do have to be on a phone. You cannot be on a computer. Because I think that is why it is giving me issues here. Hold on. I'm going to give you exactly how you can request to join. Because I don't remember what it looks like from your end, but I know what it looks like from my end. So let's take a quick look. Hold on. I'm going to give you exactly how you... And there's a delay. Take a quick look. Yeah. So on, there we go. And there's a... It's still saying on my end, unable to join. Try once more and we'll see if it'll come through. I'm not sure why it won't let you on. There we go.
Hey, hi, Trish.
Hello, gotta love technology, right?
Well, yeah, sometimes it takes a little older dog a little bit longer to learn the new trick.
It's all good. You're here. I opened up my iPad and I learned that there's a bit of a delay from us talking to what is actually being shown. So like from my iPad, it was a good like 5 seconds behind, if not longer. So it's all
Hey,
good. We're here
yeah,
now and
that's
we get
right.
to jump into this conversation. I would love for you to introduce yourself to the audience, let them know who you are and what you do, and then we're going to dive into the topic around men in leadership and more specifically, authenticity.
Hi, I'm William Goodwin, the founder of Leader of You and Leading Beyond Limits. And leadership and self-awareness and self-growth is what I'm about. And I've gone through a long journey in business. I came to a point where I got lost and I wasn't very authentic in my life, and I ended up becoming an alcoholic and ended up losing my liver, and I'm a double transplant patient. And by the grace of God, I am here And so I had to ask myself, why did I live that type of life? And why did I go down that road? And there has to be a better way. So I recommitted my second measure of life to be an authentic leader and be true to myself and find out what my core values are and how I can impact other people so they don't go down the same path I've been, because it was pretty torturous. And I don't wish that on anyone. The other company I have is Create Response Marketing, which goes in hand, and markets for the leader of you and other companies as well. But I have a wealth of knowledge and experience in the background, but more importantly, I'm here to serve. And I'm here to help others get past things that have been stuck in their life, find their blind spots, and teach how to be a leader, make a difference in your life. So that's a little bit about me, Trish.
And we need this. We really do. We need men to step into this true, authentic leadership role where we're not reliant on an ego-driven masculine.
Well, yeah, that ties when we talk about ego, it's talking about who we are, and it really becomes more of a point of what we are. Because what we are, it gets neutral, and what we are is really tying into the core and our core of emotions. I know for myself, being taught that you don't need to show your emotions, leave them at the door, don't cry, don't complain, all those things, be stoic. And so when that happens, men tend to bottle it up, get disconnected. They don't know how to feel their emotions in a sense that they can experience it. I know this is a little bit of a mind shift for John, especially my age and older, and to some extent to the younger. But, if we give a comparison, the feeling and emotion, it's get connected. All right. And what does that really feel like? And even pain, and that's specifically what I'm talking about, is feeling pain, because we want to bury it. Mm-hmm. So if you can imagine this very simple scenario, if you want to feel your feelings and not think about them and know what the difference is, don't do this at home. But just imagine yourself hitting yourself on the hand or a finger with a hammer. You don't think about that. It hurts, and you feel it. And that's what I'm talking about. That separation and not knowing what your emotions are is not only separating you from being human and being authentic, it's also disconnecting you from for what you are inside, what your core values are. So if we don't know our core values, we can't be in alignment. If we're not in alignment, we can't be authentic. And I know that I did a survey and I did some studies on it, and I'm talking to a lot of women that are actually leaders like you, Trish, and somebody around you, being around you, I'm very proud of, because I know you're very authentic and very true to yourself, and you're a leader. And you decided to shut the back door and make a difference in your life. And a lot of women are. In fact, there's more where I'm going into the coaching and leadership areas. I see a lot more women standing up. And I'm asking myself, where are the men? So I looked it up. There's about 71% of women who are looking for men to stand up and be in integrity and be in authenticity. That's a pretty significant figure. So why is that? And of course, that's a Barnaba Group study that I found that at. So why is that? What happened? The only thing that I can surmise is men don't want to be vulnerable.
Yep.
And if we can't be vulnerable, we can't be authentic. We can't be real. And if we're not real, we're not being integrity to ourselves, and we're not being honest with ourselves, which are the pillars in authenticity.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to understand that. And when I was laying on my deathbed, things got real vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to go back to that spot. But, in vulnerability, there's strength.
Yeah.
There's surrender. There's bonding, deeper relationships, intimacy. And not just intimacy physically, intimacy. And that's another thing that we really need to look at, is, are we really being intimate? I mean, intimate with time.
Yeah. There's, and I love that. I've been, thinking about these pieces so much myself, and what I'm looking for, just as I get back out into the dating world and the standards that I'm holding for myself, because I know what I want and I don't want surface level and physical intimacy. Yeah, it's a part of our relationship, but that is so surface level. What are the deeper pieces, and how deep are you willing to go? Are you willing to open up? Are you willing to share? Are you willing to, talk about things that aren't talked about and have a conversation, and share pieces of you and all of the things? Like, I'm not a surface level human being. I go deep and I go to the core of everything.
Absolutely. And that's what we were meant to, Trish. God blessed us with two things. They're the highest priority, and everything else is junior to it, is time and connection. All right. And if you look at it, they're intimate together. So if we're not intimate with our time, we're not going to be intimate with our connections with anybody. Either we're costing something, or we're using time, we're spending time, but we're not looking at time in the right way as an investment of being present, being right here, right now, just as we are, and getting real. Okay, so be in the moment. We as a species tend to look at history, and we project our history forward.
Yeah.
And that's not the way to be. That's in doing of what you used to know. And it doesn't longer support us. But being intimate right now, here, listening, and being grounded in this and understanding you're hearing these things, that we're starting to be intimate. And when we're intimate, now we're getting connected. Because the conversation we're having is real. And it stays connected. It means we go deeper because we're starting to connect to I am me, Trish is yourself,
Yeah.
you're authentic, I'm authentic. It's okay. We don't have to be right or wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not holding any type of lines of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can we walk along together? Maybe, maybe not. That's great too. But what I am is grateful for having the opportunity to be able to have an experience, to talk to you, to get to know you as a real human being. Who are you? What are you? All those different things. And what drives your training? Why is it that you stand up and be an authentic leader, unapologetic for who you are, and know who you are, and know what your values and what you stand for in the direction and vision that you're going in? You're very clear on this, Trish. And a lot of us aren't. And that's one thing I'm here to help people find. Even going through the values and starting to understand who you are, starting to trigger what you're meant to be. Where are you going in your life? And what you're going to accept and not settle for, which is a bigger portion of it. It's deciding I'm not settling for that.
I want to pause you for 1 second, because I love what you just said of who you are meant, trigger you to who you are meant to be.
Yes.
There is so much power in saying that, because there are so many little pieces as I move through, day to day, not pieces that trigger me, but pieces that sit with me like I'm still playing small. I'm still not seeing the bigger vision and the bigger picture. And that is such a big piece, because then we get to lean into the discomfort of what that looks like.
Exactly. That's being human. You're feeling it. And, people don't change. You were created in a certain way and have certain purposes on this earth. What changes is your belief system, and then your behaviors change from your belief. As you become more aware of things, open to opportunities, because you are having that mind open for growth, things change. And the way you present yourself in public changes. The way the confidence build changes, because you believe in yourself and you know who you are and what you stand for. So trigger may not be the right word for it, but exploration, those big aha moments. And I love when you say playing small. We've been taught to play small.
Yep.
There is nothing wrong with going after your dreams and shutting the back door. Don't try, do. Go out there. Yeah, and make an effort. Well, if it flops, it flops. Yep. Guess what? You made a whole lot of new connections, and it may completely evolve into something you don't even realize. So being flexible is a big part of it.
You learn from your failures, and if you don't fail, you're not going to learn. And I love, you fail forward. I have failed numerous times in this journey of business growth. And now I've set some massive goals for 2025. And when you can get behind what it is you're doing, knowing that, hey, there's a possibility XYZ is going to fail, but there's still ABC that could go right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything starts to turn and magic literally starts to happen. I said, I'm doing this, this, and this. And doors started opening, opportunities started coming in, and connections were formed. It's amazing.
Okay. Let's look at being authentic in that perspective, if you don't mind, Trish.
Yeah.
All right. So I am who I am, no matter where I am, and I am declaring, and that's what you just did. And you're declaring, secondly, and most importantly, out of faith. I do not see evidence of this, but I'm declaring to be, and I have an expectancy that's going to be.
Yeah.
And with the key word being be. All right. So being is part of being human being. We're a society of doing this. We've been trapped for I think since the industrial age, where we were indoctrinated to do. We were to go to school. We were specifically to go get a job, get a higher education, and do, and hope to be. And that equation is backwards. It starts with being, and I'm going to be today somebody authentically. I'm going to be joyful. I am going to be impactful today. It starts from declaring every single day. When I get up, I am grateful. But today, I'm going to be creative. Today, I am going to be rigorous. Today, I'm going to be happy. Today, I'm going to have fun. But I always start from a point of being.
Yeah.
Not I have to go do my to-do list.
Yeah. There's so much, and I say this all of the time across my platform, stop doing and start being.
We're totally in alignment there. Because, I mean, that's the way we were meant to.
Yeah. And in the overwhelm, when I catch myself in an overwhelmed state and, just feeling that lack of creativity in what I'm creating and what I'm doing, I stop and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing and I'm not being. Pause. Let's go take a break. Let's be that person because it's already available to me. It's a matter of allowing it.
Well, that's it. Okay. So that's the expectancy in allowing. There's a big thing of giving and receiving. A lot of people will give to you if you're open to receive. You just said it. If you're not open to receive, what's the point of giving?
Yeah. Exactly. And it's so much up here and shifting those beliefs at that deeper level, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. It's like you go through life, you're indoctrinated as a child. All right, a lot of your beliefs are formed, especially 0 to 5 years old, is really the fertile ground that you're adopting your belief system. And then from 5 to 8, you're confirming it. And from 8 to 18, you're living it. All right, it took me until nearly 60 years old that I had a 13-year-old driving my train. And that's the power of your subconscious. Each and every one of us make anywhere from 25,000 to 85,000 decisions a day. 90 to 95% of your decisions are driven subconsciously. What is serving you and what is not serving you? And do you know? And that's the beginning of becoming self-aware. Yeah. Now we're starting to get somewhere to understand deep down at your core, how are you built? What is true to you? What aligns with you? What does life mean to you? And that's an exploration. All of us are going to that journey. We're open to it. Then we start becoming vulnerable. Then we start becoming authentic. Then we start aligning. And then we got somewhere to go.
And we need to see more men stepping into this journey of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I went through a leadership. I've gone through several leadership courses now. And every time I've been in one, it's been primarily women.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen a few men. And I wondered why that was. And I think we're afraid.
Yeah.
I was. But I opened myself up to it that there's more out of life than what I had.
Yeah.
I have met some fantastic people like you, Trish. And I'm just finding this like a huge journey of exploration and purpose for me. I am growing still, and I won't stop growing because as soon as I stop growing, I'm going back into a drift of life and mediocrity, and I refuse to.
Yeah, Exactly. That is exactly how I feel. I refuse. I refuse to settle for less. I know what is available and I'm going for it no matter what. And I'm gonna fail along the way. I know I'm gonna fail along the way, but failure doesn't scare me anymore because
No,
I know who I am, I know what I'm capable of, and if it's not that direction, it's something better.
exactly. Let me talk about failure just a little bit. Failure is an event. We're all going to, and we have the choice to make to accept as a failure and learn from it and then move on, or we have the choice to sit there and wallow in and bury it into our self worth. And that's where a common thing happens that stops us a lot is we associate failure with self worth. That's not right.
Nope.
Failure is simply an event. That's all it is. And it's your belief system is how you look through a lens of perception at failure. And if you're looking at it and you turn it towards inward, then you really need to start looking at that belief. Because your self-worth determines your worth. If you have low self-worth, you're going to have low worth out in the world. It's just a function of it. So,
And we've had the conversation around my experiences and what I do and how I help women, and that is such a major piece is the fear of failure and connecting it back to your self-worth, because when you've been in that toxic relationship, you almost feel like you
mhm.
failed yourself because you've allowed yourself to stay for, for me it was 16 years that I allowed myself to stay. So my sense of self-worth was so low because I felt like I had failed myself, allowing myself to put up with all of that shit, failed my kids for allowing them to witness all of those pieces. And it's been a journey on its own, just rebuilding that and recognizing, okay, that was my story, but it's not my story moving forward.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Okay, that is a story. It doesn't define you. It happened. It was an event, and you decided and made a decision, a choice, a declaration that this stops now. I am who I am, and I'm moving forward. And that's the way to be. Exactly that. And for you to be evidence now for women out there to show, because I know a lot of women have been mistreated by men. That's another mission of mine, but we'll talk about that another episode. But the thing is, you stood up and said, "This is it. I am no longer my story. I am creating new ones." Use what supports you in your history. Leave the rest behind, recognize what it is, but it's not defining you as the person that you are truly meant to be. None of us were meant to be involved in something like that or defined by something that we were meant to live in a spirit of joy and peace and happiness and fulfillment.
Yeah.
Anything else and less than that, there's something going on that you really need to stop and evaluate and have a strong look at it.
Yeah.
So I'm not encouraging divorces, but there are some things that you need to get out of.
That's it. It's not encouraging a divorce, but you still have to look at the way society has been conditioned, the way that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people have been conditioned, men and women, because the abuse can happen on either side. It's not
Yes.
just men abusing the women, it happens both ways. And it's in the societal conditioning of this is how things are supposed to be, and then everything becomes so ego driven, and we forget to come back to that peace and joy and openness and vulnerability and connection.
Yeah, the world has done a great marketing job, hasn't it,
Yeah.
defining who we are, and then again, it's taught you how to do and what society expects out of you. You need to really go back to the point: are you really being authentic to yourself? All right, authenticity, authenticity is really going back is to the core values. All right, what do you value, and not surface level values at all. Yeah, I'm not looking at. I value money. I value power. Those are not core. Those are surface level. Core level is the basic emotions that you're built off and how you respond to a stimulus naturally. Does this provide me joy in my life? What is it? Because whatever it is a value to you at the core level. And that's what everyone needs to go back and evaluate and find for themselves. Because once you start finding the true self, being authentic to yourself, then you know your values, and then you can live a joyful life because you don't align yourself in those areas that bring you peace and joy and surround yourself yourself with it. And if you don't know them, you're falling into areas that keep you in resistance, remorse. All the arts are destructive in our life. You're getting into revenge because you're angry. You're not at peace. So it really becomes that. And the component of that is really, again, you have to be vulnerable. And the vulnerability is just, it's not a weakness, folks. Vulnerability, the great thing that happens when you start becoming vulnerable is you get real creative. You find sources that you never had in your life because you stripped off all the external layers that are blocking resistance, that you're holding people back from. Those barriers are gone. Now we can have a real conversation. And men, if you're out there and you're not feeling that you can be vulnerable, I'm going to highly encourage you, because there's groups out there that have safe spaces that you can get in. And I highly encourage you that you do it for your own mental health, spiritual well-being. Men become very dangerous where they don't have a way to become vulnerable and vent and not know their emotions. They can get very explosive. They can become very damaging. They can be very verbally abusive. It's not that there's anything wrong with you. It's we never got a chance to really find out who we were. And we don't have to be the person that has to be providing all the time. Our misconception providing is go out there and provide and work. Well, are we providing peace and tranquility for our families and for our friends? Or are we just spewing out things because we're angry all the time? If we're just spewing things out all the time, then those words are taking life. They're not giving life. And we need to stop and go and start going to a spot where we can let those things out. Because if we hold all that in, it's toxicity. It builds up chemicals in your body starts expecting that. And then we start getting into diseases. I mean, I go so all this. But the point is, you're out of alignment. Just simple as that. You're out of alignment, and you don't know what your values are, and you're lost. And you need to stop and go find a spot that you can be done with and get that off. Pull it off. Let it go. Surrender.
Yeah. There's so much power in all of that, and surrendering and being vulnerable and opening up to being authentic to who you are. But it comes back to, again, knowing who you are and who do you want to be, because for me there's two pieces to that. There's, okay, this is who I am, but who do I want to be, and diving into those deeper layers.
All right. So when you're diving into those deeper layers, you're saying that I want to be this, but how do you feel about that?
Well, and that's yeah.
I was just saying, as far as, yeah, I mean, when we say we want this, it's really a great thing to do, gentlemen, is journal.
Yeah.
And write down. I do it daily. And write down how do I feel that day. What do I feel? What am I going to declare that day? How do I feel about that today? And then, what happens is I'm starting to become authentic with myself and how I feel and what I'm believing, what I want to create or do, be that day, and I get a reality check about it. And you know what? That's when I do that. There's power in writing, not just typing on the keyboard. There's actual power in transferring from your mind, from your soul, to a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Because that is now declaring something, and then you can speak it aloud. What I found out when I do that, my day tends to flow that way, no matter what gets thrown in front of me. If I don't do that, then I get pulled down into the weeds on it. But as I'm journeying now, I have a log of how I felt today. What was it I'm experiencing? That gives me practice of connecting to my own self and realizing, okay, what is that? What's under the water line that's causing me to feel that way? You know, what's under the water line that I do in the situation and not really intending to? I get to look at that and I get to go there. And that's exploration. So when we start doing that, we start finding our authentic self to it. So authenticity is really a collection of choices that you make daily.
Yeah.
It's how you choose to show up that day and be real or not real.
Yeah.
Your choice to be honest or not honest to yourself and to others. And a choice to be present in the moment or not present in the moment. you start doing that, and you start becoming authentic. And the next thing you know, you don't find people around you that like you as an authentic person. And you find those that are really not your friends or supporting you, they tend to disappear because they don't like what you are. And that's a great thing because it no longer burdens you or drags you down from yourself.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to really stop and be authentic. It's okay. Again, like I said, it's okay to be authentic. People are going to like you, people are not going to like you. It's just the way it is, and it's fun.
Yeah. I'd rather be in my own energy than around people who are going to bring my energy down.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, that's a choice.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
it.
To stay
And
true to who I am and what I want in my life.
Yeah, and the thing is too, courage. It takes courage to do that. So I want to link the two words together: vulnerability and courage. They're equally yoked together. The more vulnerable you become, the more courage it takes, and vice versa. And you can relate this to being on a battlefield. It makes a very simple picture. If you're going to go out there and run across the field and be shot at, that's taking a lot of vulnerability and courage to accomplish. Courage for one, but you're going to be vulnerable because you'll be exposed. And that's what vulnerability is, exposing the true self. And that's what you really need to show. And it takes courage. And courage builds character. Courage also supports authenticity because it keeps you integrity as well. And then because when you do that, you become more intimate with your relationships and connections because it's building trust at the same time. You're not hiding anything, and people can actually read your body language a lot of times and know you're telling them they're not. You know, some can, some can't, but your body speaks about 93% of your language than your words do, too. And authenticity also is lining up with your actions that you commit out in and do in the real world to what your words are. So are they in alignment or are they not alignment? I found myself about words or not alignment with my actions a lot of times. I wasn't trying to be that way, but that's what happened in result. And so why is that? We get to go back and look at that. So there's all these little pieces. So looking at authenticity, it's like a cube. You rotate it, it says integrity, it says honesty, it says trust, it says vulnerability, but the core inside is authenticity on it. So when you start looking at it that way, you start looking at what am I facing out today? I'm going to be vulnerable today. I'm going to be integrity today. I'm going to trust today. And start practicing those things. And what you'll find out as you go along, you'll become a lot more authentic and appreciated for that. Be consistent.
I love that.
Be consistent.
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's a great takeaway for anyone who is jumping in and catching this episode. That's a great takeaway. Now, I know I want to take a couple minutes to share about your summit. That is,
oh yeah,
share about that. Let us know about it. Let everyone know where they can find it.
Okay. The summit is on leadership, Leader of You, Leading Beyond Limits. And we have 18 speakers, and Trish is going to be one of your lovely speakers as well. And we get to do that tomorrow, and I'm excited for that. And it's all about different people coming from different places, ordinary people that stood up and said, I'm done with this, and I'm changing my life, making a difference. It's about people teaching you how to eat right, nutrition, physical, mental health, as far as discipline. What does it take? You know, success is no secret sauce, folks. Success is getting real, knowing what you want, and go out for it, and being consistent, persistent, and a lot of times long suffering. It takes hard work. It was never supposed to be easy to do some hard work, and the hard work's on yourself. It's not the actual success part. It's the hard work on yourself. But you get to make it easy as you go along because you're getting in alignments. When you're shedding off those beliefs that are holding you back, finding out your blind spots, once you start realizing that, success in your life, whatever you define success and freedom, is different for everybody. it starts becoming easy. We can start making it easy. Because that's really core to being authentic to yourself. And that takes work to get to.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do. And we have to do a lot of checks. So that's what the summit is truly about. I've brought people from all over the world, actually, that has ways to teach you how to be best version of yourself, how to lead, how to look for blind spots and limited beliefs. So it's more of a summit for information. It's free to join. I do encourage you to get VIP that you can take these recordings and put them into your library and watch them whenever that you like and come back to. We also have a founders package that if anybody wants to join us in leadership, there's an offer there. We're looking for 100 people to join us and lead the way. And not just to leader you, but to make an impact in the world.
And what date is it running again?
It is starting December 5th and it runs through the 15th. Trish, I believe you're scheduled for the 14th that yours will come available on it. And the register, I sent you a link. Can you show them the link by chance? Is that fun?
I can't show it, but I will post it in the caption.
All right, there's a link. It's the leader of you. I can't remember the URL right, but when she posts it, just click. It's a short link, and it will take you to the registration page. And please register. If it's just a register, please do that. If you can't watch it all, I'm leaving them up for 48 hours, so you can come back and watch it at your convenience, because everybody has a different schedule and can't catch it on the time that it is. So I'm leaving it up for 48 hours so you can come back and watch the replay. But just invest in yourself. That's what this is all about, is learning, teaching. I'm offering a course in December, the value of values, and an exploration that's starting to define your values. And then in the first of next year, it will be intimacy with time. Are you intimate or are you not? And what does it take to get intimate? And all of it is just strictly to help people grow, to make a difference in this world. And you can. You matter. Let your light shine. No shame in that. Let it shine.
I love it. I love it. So for all of the men who do watching on this episode, this is something you 100% want to check out, because we need this. We need this shift in the masculine, and it starts with you.
That's exactly right. It certainly does. And it's a choice, gentlemen. Yeah. Make it. Your life will transform.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. I will post that link in the caption, as well as tag you, so that if anyone is looking for further information or how to connect with you, they can reach you through that, and they can register for the summit in the link. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I've truly enjoyed this conversation. As always, if anyone is jumping in and they have anything that they want to contribute to the conversation, drop it in the comments. We will respond to you.
Absolutely. We love comments. We'd like to get interaction from the people, see what they think, what they like to contribute and share with us. So, Trish, I thank you again for this opportunity. You're most gracious, and I appreciate it. And it's an excellent pleasure to get to know you. And, you know, we've got a whole future ahead of us. So let's get to work.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye.